Hope I didn't hurt somebody. Third cab off the rank. Shouldn't talk to it that way. This is way more special than waiting in line for a taxi. Guys, sun-drenched fence. A lot of people have questioned the name. For us, it's a little bit of a metaphor. It's a metaphor for these beautiful barrels pressed up against the glass overlooking the Brisbane River and the sun that drenches those day in, day out. It's also a bit of a metaphor for this beautiful sour red ale lapping up against the inside of that oak and those barrels. It's a beautiful modern Australian take on a Flanders red ale.
It is, yeah, absolutely. Our take on a Flanders red. So it has a sourness to it. It's been aged in fresh, first use gospel whiskey barrels, rye whiskey, from down in Melbourne, a fantastic spirit producer in Australia. It has taken on so much of that complexity from that alcohol, from that spirit. So when you drink it, you're getting this beautiful warmth on the back palate, but also a lovely alcohol sweetness that helps to balance it all out. A richness, a robustness to this beer. Also driven by, it was largely a few select red sour barrels, and then we've taken one special barrel, little private reserve of a maltier, heavier, richer base, and brought that into the mix to just elevate this beer, to add some complexity and some depth. It tastes amazing. It does look amazing.
Yeah, what that's kind of given to, just to unpack what Tom was saying earlier, what that's given to the beer is a slightly deeper kind of color, a little bit more of that copper red color to it. It's also given this really deep caramel toffee character on the palate, and it's really just given, in my opinion, given the beer a little bit more length. So I feel like you can liken this style of beer a little bit more similarly to a chilled red wine, or even a deeper, more richer red wine. Obviously it's beer with fine wine sensibilities, so if you feel like there's a way to connect to our customers and our guests via that avenue, we encourage it all the way. It's got a beautiful balanced acidity to it. It's got that malt sweetness, which I think the other beers don't really have. I think this is a bit more of a well-rounded...
Celebrates malt.
Yeah.
The other celebrating cultures and the sourness and the acidity and the fruit.
Yeah.
Whereas this is really a malt-driven beverage. Pairs incredibly well with a steak from the Barrel Hall. I did try that the other day, I'll confess. So absolutely amazing.
32 months in barrel, which in my opinion is pretty ridiculous. So that's essentially some of the early wort, which is unfermented beer that we put into barrels when we first opened Felon's Barrel Hall, that's now come to fruition and played a role in this sun-drenched fence. So an incredible deep narrative there for you to share with our guests. So do your thing, guys. Go out there, share the love with the world, share this beautiful beer. Only 900 bottles. It'll be on tap for a very limited time only. Yeah, thanks so much, and cheers to sun-drenched fence.
Cheers, Prost.